This is the 19th season of Bass Talk Live. BTL is presented by Bass Cat Boats, Strike King Lures, Aftco, Pro Guide Batteries, X-Zone Lures, Shoreline Boat and RV Repair, Spro, Gamakatsu, Big Bite Baits, The Bass Tank, Denali Rods, Beatdown Outdoors, and Sunline.
BTL coming at you.
Good morning, and welcome to another exciting edition of BTL Bass Talk Live, where we are going to talk about bass fishing. In studio guest today, the one and only Rick Harris. I mentioned during yesterday's show that Rick was way back from the Toyota Series Championship at Table Rock, where you recorded a top 20 finish, doing something that you weren't very comfortable with. So thank you for jumping on. I like where I live now in Shawnee is right off I-40. So
yeah, if you go through, you fall, you're an hour away from you, dude. So I was like, texting Matt this morning, like, hey, dude, let's get breakfast somewhere. He's like, you want to come do a show? I was like, perfect.
No, it worked out perfect because, like I said, it's a recorded show this morning. We're filming this just after we just did the James Niggemeyer show. Do you know James very well? I know he's down in Texas.
Yeah, I know
now.
James pretty well. We talk, a few times a year. I've known him for 5-6 years doing the camp. He's a great dude. Love James.
Like, if you were to put the Mount Rushmore of most well-liked, established pros in the history of professional bass fishing, James is on that.
Hands down. He's nice. He's always answers the phone, talks to you about anything, always have a great attitude. He's the man. I've told this story on the show before, but it's kind of funny. I've probably witnessed the most violent and upset James has ever been. So like a long time ago, this would have been probably 10 years ago. He was on the Elite Series and I was shooting videos for Bass Insider, which was like a subscription based. Anyway, I was freelance, so I had to do like 150 videos. Well, I would just call guys up and be like, hey, let's film. They'd be like, oh, this is going to go on Bassmaster? Yeah. And then we'd fish. Yeah. So it was a hell of a deal. And I would like to say I got paid for it, but Jeffrey somehow finagled it to where I got paid the exact same. But I got to fish with these guys. Yeah, probably learn some stuff.
And I stayed at James's house and had a chicken coop. They had an issue with something getting in their chicken coop and eating their chickens. And we caught a possum red-handed. And he went to town on it with a shovel.
Oh, I couldn't see James doing that. I could not
see him in it.
Well, he takes his son hunting and stuff. So yeah, I could see that.
But I mean, dude, you're protecting the chicken coop. Yeah. Something is getting through.
Yeah.
Well, he smokes this thing a couple of times and it's laying there. And then it gets up, it starts to walk off again because it was playing possum. Yeah. And he went after it again, but he's going, I'm sorry as he hits the possum.
Poor thing.
But he had to defend the chicken coop. Yeah. But yeah, no. So thanks for stopping by. It was an interesting week. I had Jody White on the show last week to kind of preview how the Toyota Series, less than 4.5, 5 hours away.
Yeah, it's not that
Table
far.
Rock from where we are here. So kind of familiar with it this time of year. That's where I actually am right now at the airing of the show, headed up to Table Rock. But dude, that's probably, in your opinion, and you fished all over now.
Yeah,
is that one of the coolest, most kind of diverse?
It's one of my new favorite lakes now, for sure. Yeah, like, I've been all over up north, Florida. I've been everywhere, and it's into my top 5 now because you can do so much. Like, you look at the top 25 or a lot of guys are live scope, but some guys were skipping docks.
Yeah,
I wanted like that plopper buzzbit deal to go, but it never.
Did anyone catch him doing?
I don't know. I maybe Ish had a good day one. Maybe he's doing that. I don't know. I really never really heard of it, but I was trying to go for that and caught him a different way. But man, you can catch smallmouth, spots, and large. In the first day I had all 3, which is cool.
Really? Had the trifecta?
Yeah, I had all 3, which is cool.
It's weird to me. I mean, there's like you have higher tendencies to catch them doing specific stuff. Yeah. But like as a whole, like you
can just go catch fish.
Like a third population of each. When you say in that lake, like spots, largies.
Yeah, you catch. I got to look at live scope and tell the difference, which was very surprised. But
based on how they move,
dude, like the spots are just like glowing little balls, and you could tell that those are spots. And smallmouth, they kind of, I've looked at them up north a lot. They look the same. You can kind of see a tail.
and how they act to the bait. And then you can look at largemouth that kind of posted on something, swim into the bait like a largemouth. Like you could tell, dude. It was pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Those fish never got touched for years. Like there was always like a dead period.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say a dead period. I wouldn't say they never got touched. There are old school guys who would spoon the trees.
Exactly.
And that was like a
a
tail
2D,
spinner and a spoon in a tree. And
I used to do that on Amstead.
You get over the top of the tree, but what we saw, and I know it was one on a jig, but I'd say, well, what percentage would you say of guys were just out scoping the abyss?
Guys in top 25, probably 80%.
Yeah. Like those fish never got pressured. They just
before.
chased bait around, and those were the fish that you're like, man, it's the transition time of the year.
Yeah.
They haven't set up in the tops of the trees yet. They're no longer on the bank. We don't know where these fish go.
Yeah. Boom. There they are. Just in the middle blasting bait.
Tons of them.
Mm-hmm.
Table Rock, if you're going to it's a great place to take kids.
Totally.
It's a great place to go on guide trips.
Yeah,
it's a great
you're gonna
place
catch
to
fish.
vacation on. If you have your own boat, you're
Yeah.
not very confident of like learning a new body of water.
Yeah. And
A lot
Dave
of good
Mansue
fish.
guides there.
Does
So
he?
if you ever want to trip on
And Chad.
and Chad Morgantoe, they both guide there. If you ever want to trip, hit up one of those guys, and they live right across the street from each other. So
They've got the setup like
Dude,
between
it's
Dave,
awesome.
Chad, and then Brian
Snowden's down the
Snowden.
street. Yeah, it's cool, man. They're all right there in a little community, and no houses around, and it's
I mean, I don't. You don't want to say you're guaranteed fish, but I would say an average day on Table Rock, regardless of when you go or what time of
Yeah.
the year, is between 20 and 40 fish.
Yeah, definitely. Once, with those guys knowing the deal, yes,
Yeah.
easy. I think day 2 I caught by myself 40 something fish and 20 keepers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And those are 15 inchers too.
Yes, it was awesome. Yeah, it was,
Yeah.
and it was great. They're so fat there. I had a couple of, they were right on the line of 15. I mean, barely, and they're like 2.25.
Yeah.
Those are big, dude. It's crazy.
I talked with you a lot about it, and then this we just went and ate breakfast. Not like you weren't super comfortable going into this tournament knowing that it would be like open roaming scoping fish with
Yeah.
a spinning rod suspended.
Yeah, and I'm comfortable with that. I like doing that. I mean, it's not my jam, but
You don't do that at Ivy all the time?
I do. But like,
How is this different than what the guys do at Ivy?
so like Ivy is like you're going after schools of fish.
Oh,
You know,
so they're not
in the
individuals
winter,
at Ivy?
sometimes they are, but like in the wintertime, there's schools of them. Dude, like I caught 11.8 and it came out of a school like 30 of them.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought it was like
Yeah.
big buck hunting down there at
Yeah,
Ivy.
and you can do that too,
Yeah.
for sure. But like when I've been doing it, it's like big schools of them and stuff. And the cool thing about this, it was almost like Champlain. Like you're just in the abyss and you find bait, and then you find fish around the bait and throw. It's you find the bait, find the fish. That's it. And it's going through so many of them to get good weight.
I wonder, and I've done it quite a bit on that bait, but it's really weird to me on where that bait decides to set up.
Yeah. So day 3, my bait was gone.
Yeah, like
Gone.
what makes it move?
I'm sure wind, and then just maybe like, loons or seagulls pushing it somewhere, and it just goes, man. It's really, I don't think you can, other than the wind, it's just everywhere, and you just got to relocate it.
I ran into this in the open at Lake of the Ozarks, and I caught some doing it out the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I definitely ran into it at Watts Bar, and I caught him in the open, in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I did not realize how I've done it at Sam Rayburn. Catch a check in the
I
open a
remember
couple
that
years
last
ago.
one. Yeah, I
I said,
remember
dude,
that.
you'll never
Yeah.
believe this. I was like, I literally
In the middle of nowhere.
had like old guys driving past going, that guy's fishing out there.
Yeah,
and
what
like
an
there was
idiot.
no one around, but
Yeah.
it wasn't on anything. It was just completely dumb luck. And then
Yep.
you like follow the bait, and then you look up and you're,
There's see 4 dots swimming together.
you're in
catch
the middle of
one.
nowhere.
Yeah.
But I don't, it's crazy to me. Like we are in the new era where like that's an accepted way. Like you drive past everyone fishing tournaments now, and it doesn't even cross your mind. Like it's more weird to see guys up on the bank than it is out in the middle of nowhere in boat lanes, in main lake basins, over nothing,
and just catch them.
And it used to be, the hell is that guy doing?
Yeah.
And now it's like,
Oh, he's scope.
what the hell is that guy doing?
Yeah.
Fishing a traditional pattern that we've done. For
Yeah,
20
no
years.
joke. Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
that hard to find them on Table Rock like that? Like, I mean, you go to a lake that's massive. You've never been there. You've got the white and the
Yeah.
James and the.
Yeah, it was intimidating. I mean, I wasn't that intimidating because like I've been a bunch of lakes that are big like that. It's not that. So I just broke it down.
Mhm.
You know, one day up the White, one day up the James, one day down by the launch, and then go from there. You know, your best tournaments that I've come to find out is you figure it out kind of during the tournament. You go to where they're going. And, you know, I caught one fish that clued me in like I remember like last 30 minutes of practice. And I ran with that and ended up with a 17th finish.
Yeah.
You know, horrible practice, but that like 1 or 2 moments. And then it just, you know, you get a little breadcrumb and it leads you to the pie.
What was the tournament that turned things around? Because we've been buddies for a while. I remember we used to have a lot of talks. And like it was kind of that 18, 19 where like I'd had a couple good like Toyotas. And I was like, dude, like once it happens, you're like, oh my God, this is like doable.
Yeah.
You just need that one. And then it seems like you had that one. And since then you've won a Toyota. You've like cashed in damn near every single tournament you fished in. But was there like one tournament that in your mind it kind of clicked to where you went from, hey, I'm fishing, but now I'm competing?
Yeah, honestly, I think it was like 2021, Sam Rayburn. I think first day I was in like 6th, and it just like blew my, you know what I mean? You got comments like, okay, I can do this. I'm here. I can compete, and had a great event. And then from then on, it was just boost of confidence. And then being on the water guiding helps. You know, you just make good decisions and you feel what's going on in the fishery and just adapt and just go with the flow. You know, so it's probably that tournament because before, man, I fished the Opens in 17, the Southern Division, and got my butt kicked. Like, I don't think I caught a limit the entire season, like way too soon. And then, you know, fished some coastas and stuff.
And you were guiding by yourself down at Amistad.
So this is before I even got
This
it.
is before.
Yeah, I started guiding in 18, and I did the Opens in 17.
Oh, this is when you were working on the windmills.
No, this is oil field.
Oh, oil field.
Yeah, the windmills was 2021 when like guiding took a, you know.
Okay.
And my buddy's like, hey, well, come work for us, and that kind of turned.
So you were
into
working oil fields, but you wouldn't you work like 30 days and then just like
dude.
quit for 2 months and then go
pretty
back
much.
to it?
Yeah, it was miserable. It was cool. It was a lot of up and down, but yeah, I'd work, and that's how I bought my boat. Like, worked, paid cash for it, bought my boat, started fishing every day, Thursday nighters. And
what did you do in the oil field?
I did flow back. It's like anything that comes out of the well we deal with.
Oh,
from like start to
as
finish.
much as I've known you, I never knew.
Yeah,
I never asked.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a lot, I mean, I had some really easy days where I'm just sitting in the truck watching a well, but then I had some horrible days where you're out in it for, you know, sometimes 48 hours, 36, you know, just days. But
because the guiding did you were a guide client of Kurt Dove's?
Yeah, that's how
like
we met.
you went out as a guide with Kurt Dove, just as a guy where you were.
Yeah, the first time I hired him was like, I don't know, like 12 or something, 13.
That's crazy. That was just 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's not really. And then like he actually couldn't go, so he like pawned me off on another guy, James Berkey. You know, James is a camp.
Yeah,
and we smashed him. Well, then like I don't know, like a few months later, he was like, "Hey, I'm open." Hired him, went and had a great time, and we became really good friends after that. And practiced with him in an open where he top 10'd. That Bassmaster Open at Amsterdam where it was like 15 degrees.
Is that the one where
Andy Young won?
Yeah, I think it took like 2 fish to get a check.
I caught 3 fish,
and you could use an A rig still.
Yeah,
Is that the one Carl caught like the 10 pounder
in practice.
on the
Yep. Yeah, it was. Yeah, but yeah, I caught like 3 fish and cut a check as a co. But then ever since then, he's like took me under his wing and showed me. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that dude. Seriously.
So then you wanted to get in the game.
Yeah, Kurt actually told me to guide. He's like,
Really?
dude, yeah, because I did the camp and like,
he's
like, dude, you're good with kids, you're good with people on the boat, you're like, you should guide. So I was kind of looking into it and moved to Amstead, and he kind of gave me some trips to get me started. And
you had a Triton, right?
Yeah,
literally duct tape together.
Well, it was nice then, but when I sold it like a couple years ago, it was
it was duct tape together.
Yeah, dude. Like I put some miles on that boat.
Like you had a console that was like duct taped on.
Yeah, dude, it was like shaking off because all the rough water up north, and it did a lot to
okay,
it,
so you had the Triton, and then you started, and then you actually, this is the coolest part of it all. You lived in the same house.
Yes, as Keith Combs.
That Keith Combs lived in when he was fishing 330 days a year.
Yeah, it's the same unit. Doris Feathers, the landlord.
Doris Feathers?
Yeah, she's awesome.
That's a legendary name.
She was sweet, dude. She ruled. And she'd always call me Little Keith because she's like, people are over all the time fishing. You're always gone. You're always fit. Like, you're like Little Keith. I'm like, no, Keith is winning all this stuff, and I'm just trying to get started. But yeah,
Keith described it as a box. He didn't have.
Dude,
he didn't have a TV in there because he didn't want to be distracted and have a reason not to go out. He said he would guide 300 days a year, and that it was literally just a box with a roof.
Yeah, it was like a 1-room apartment.
One room,
like 1 room, like a bedroom, like But yeah, that was it. Small, but it worked, man. It was cheap.
Keeps you on the water,
dude. I mean, I could go get my boat from the storage, get gas, and be on the water in 15 minutes, maybe 10. If I didn't get gas, 10 minutes from the house. So I spent every day on the water too, and that's where all the success is. Time on the water. Period. Yeah. You know, I know it's burned into everyone's head. What's the key to success? Time on the water.
Okay, I'm trying to put the timeline together. So then you were guiding.
Mm-hmm.
Then when did the windmill stuff? Because that was crazy. Because that seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, because I mean, like COVID, like we had a great year in COVID.
Didn't
fishing.
they like shut Amistad down?
Yeah, they did for
COVID?
a couple of weeks. Yeah, I missed like 4 or 5 guide trips because of it, and you know, has a lot of money for me. So then that happened, and then the election. Everyone was kind of scared of spending money, so no one spent money. So my buddies reached out to me that actually clients of mine and fishing buddies at Airway Services in San Angelo, Jonathan Click and Chase Hoare, my buddy Will Blaine reached out and, hey, dude, you can work until spring. And when guiding picks back up, go back to guiding. Well, that turned into a full-time job, and they liked me and promoted me some stuff. So I did that for about a year. And then the fish the Toyotas. During that, they let me, and that's nothing. They let me have time off for the Toyotas, and I spent a month in New York fishing. So
wait, I want to talk about the windmills.
Yeah,
that was that. Wait,
yeah,
I'm pulling up pictures of that. 1 second.
Yeah, that was the windmill deal.
But what you were like the guy who went to the top of them, right?
Yeah, we like maintenance them and stuff, so we'd climb up there. And
you had never climbed anything before in your life?
No, not that high.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was cool, dude. Like it was nervous.
You weren't like, no, I'm not going up there.
No, it's fine. You just climb up there and like you're doing a job. You don't really notice. It got scary when you got comfortable. When you're up there working, you're kind of comfortable. Like that's when like you kind of realize like, dang, I'm doing this and all, hanging off the side, working on it. If I fall, you're strapped in, but it can go bad real quick.
Screen there like that. Like that's like the stuff you were like, so like on the actual windmill, like you're at the very top.
Yeah.
And you have to climb it.
Yeah. There's like the ladder goes over up top. They have a climb assist, but like we were like kind of contractors, so they never really gave us a climb assist. So we had a free climb.
What was the first time like? Like, how did you? Was there literally some dude who's like, see that, climb it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's
like how long? How much?
There was some training involved, like they got safety courses at the where we worked and stuff, and then they put you out in the field and you climb one, and then keep going, man. It's not.
You never froze?
Yeah.
You never like went down and went, no, I'm doing this for money. I have no desire.
No, but I've seen people do it. I've seen people like climb, like, nope, quit.
Like how high do they get up?
Like 90 meters, like 300 something.
Before they quit?
Oh no. They get up like maybe to the first platform. Maybe even
how high is the
up
first
there.
Platform?
That's like so probably like 100 foot, 80 foot.
So 10 stories.
Yeah.
And they're just like, I'm done.
Nope, done, getting down. Yep.
Is it easier to go up or easier to go down?
Down for sure. Because up, you're, your weight, gravity, and then down, you're kind of using gravity to help you out. Like 2 to 3 towers a day, you're shot climbing, dude.
So you just have a list of towers.
Yeah.
2-man or 1-man? Like, would you be?
Dude, sometimes we had like 4 dudes up there just knocking stuff out. Sometimes we had 2, at least 2 for sure. But sometimes.
And you're always strapped in at the top.
Yeah.
But it's still,
you're up there. Let's go. I did one in Minnesota and like the tops open up. Yeah, because there's different ones and the tops like open up and you're working in the outside of there.
And how tall are they? Like
3 foot.
So 30 stories in the air.
Yeah, big.
With the wind,
and
birds.
And they're wind, it's windy all the time there. That's why they're there. So you're like swaying. And you get home in the shower and you're still swaying.
You never just looked down and went, no thanks.
No.
God, I couldn't do it.
Really?
I'm done. I'd be done. I would make it 20 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like when you're at, like, have you been in those hotels that have like atriums that you can look over and down? That doesn't bother you at all. You don't get like the queasy feeling.
That kind of does, to be honest.
But climbing it,
no, you're strapped in harness and it's like enclosed. It's a little different, but yeah, those hotels kind of freak me out. Those hotels freak me out more than the towers.
really?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I remember, like, I think one classic somebody jumped off on.
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like we missed it by like 5 minutes, and then we came back.
Well, good thing you didn't see it,
because it was right outside the bar there, and it was someone who committed suicide and jumped off the top of one of those atriums.
Yeah,
it's not a good deal.
No.
And then you could see it during the whole. It was bad.
Okay.
But you're on the outside when you climb, or are you actually like
no, you're inside
the tube?
Yeah, inside the tube, and there's levels. There's 3 levels.
So do you even know that you're off the ground when you're in the tube climbing?
Yeah, you can look down, and it's like, but the tube, like, you don't look down the whole tube because there's sections. Like, you get up, you can rest. Get up, you can rest. You know.
So you're not like scaling the ladder on the outside of them.
Yeah. No.
You think I could do it?
Yeah.
That still has to pay good though.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was fine. It'd be guiding for a little bit for sure.
So you did that for how long?
A year.
Yeah. And then did you say that? And then is that when you got hooked up with Hill Country?
Yeah. So my buddy Jared Poole, man, he's been one of my best friends for a long time. We actually started guiding around the same time. And he told me about it when he was starting. He's like, dude, I want to make the most badass guide service out there. And that's his goal. He didn't care about tournaments. He just wants to make a guide service. And I was like, man, I'm just doing the windmill thing, making money. And then he hollered at me like a few months later. He's like, man, I need you. Like, shoot me a price, what you want. And we talked about it and came to agreement. I came to be, a quarter owner of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like there's 4 of us. So
when you started though, you were like a employee of it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of. I mean, it's still like, but now it's on paper. We're good. And like,
because there's like pluses and minuses to doing that.
Yeah.
Like you have maybe a boat, maybe some benefits, a guaranteed client, but like, you're making what you're making regardless, as opposed to doing it on your own. So this is like the best of both worlds.
It is
you have
really
a team and
and people are like, dude, you can make more money on your own. I was like, man, I've done it for you. I was like, maybe a little bit more, but not much. And this, it's fun, dude. You have a team, you have a like we're a family, and it's totally different. We all, boats, we all get a check every 2 weeks. So it's steady income, and we just ran like a legit business. It's awesome.
And you guide how many? You're always guiding. Every time I taught you, you're either guiding or fishing a tournament. So you're what, 200 days a year?
Yeah, I think guiding like 150, and each one of our guides is about 150,
which is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's way more.
But we do like springtime. We do like 90 days of it, like in 2 months, 3 months or whatever.
So I would consider this what you do now, like a high-end guide experience. For sure. It's not like the $300 soak light. Like this is guys who know what's up. Like you do, what do? You do a ladder deal?
Yeah, we do. We call them, trophy bass hunts, and we just target giant fish, 10 plus. And we go during the spawn. We put a platform on the boat, so you're elevated and you can see just far, and they're still hard to catch. They're spawning fish.
Are you running the trolling motor like with
with the remote? Yeah,
and
the
you're
remote.
up on top, and you're like, there's one.
Yeah, there's a 6. No, there's an 8. No, hey, that one might be 10. You want it? And we all work together. Like if there's a cancellation, somebody doesn't come, that boat is out scouting for everybody else. So our goal is to get everybody a 10 plus. Let's say my guy catches a 10 plus in the morning. Now we're looking for a 12. So if we see a 10 plus, hey Jared, you on a 10? No, cool, come over. So we all work together to get to
so
get
you have
one.
four guys, like 8 clients, between 4 and 8 clients, 4 guides all on the lake at the same time.
Yeah, just run around looking for big ones there. We do it.
Everyone knows what they're getting into.
Oh yeah, we explain like, dude, this is like a hunt. You might not catch a bass straight up. It's fishing, and then we're after the one. But I mean, dude, I think we crunched the numbers one day, and it's like 1 year when it was nuts, it was like 43% catch rate, 10 plus.
But that's just for one day. Like
we require 2 days.
Okay.
So that, and we get some guys that book 6 days.
Wow.
Straight. Yeah, dude. So I mean, it's we're really upfront about it, and and they're game, dude. Everyone's like, yeah, and it's totally different way to fish, but you see them and we catch them, dude. It's fun.
So, I just went out with Brandon Burks on one of these new lakes that's popping off in Texas, and there were 5 or 6 other boats out there.
Oh yeah,
and then I've been talking with you about hill country and these kind of giant bass trips. Is this kind of a new thing? These like targeted, isolated, giant, big bass trips? Like I don't ever remember hearing about that. Like
I think with live scope, yes.
Okay,
but we've been doing the sight fishing deal for 4 or 5 years.
But it seems to me, just like covering this, like you would hear about a big fish, but now it seems like it's like an industry almost. Like it's like an act, like everyone just knows about it now. Does that make sense?
No,
like
totally.
And it seems like
that circle of West Texas is just stupid. There's like I fish all over the country. These 10 to 13 pounders are caught. It's not happening.
But is that the
everywhere.
last 5 years that's popped off?
Yeah.
Okay, take the spawn out. Take the spawn fish out. This is like a gold rush right now.
Pretty much.
Like I've equated it to what happened in California
with the trout deal.
With the trout.
Pretty much. But Ivy popped off like this 2011. I mean, there's has
it been up and down, or was it up and no one knew about it?
No, dude, there's tournaments. Dude, there's a ton of boats there every weekend.
From this
2011. Yeah, dude. It was when I fished a Permian Bass Club tournament, it's a 3 fish limit we had. And it took like 63 pounds for 2 days to win.
How many? What?
63.
What year was this?
2011.
Is it just social media?
Probably. Yeah, but it
would have to be just social media.
They were knocking out 10, 13 pounders on the reg there back in 2011.
That was when Falcon was good.
Yeah, Falcon was good. Amistad was good.
It was just the beginning of the kind of down.
Yeah. Yeah, the drought and everything went down and kind of.
But as far as it seems like there's a bunch more guys that are just targeting the giant fish, and like what used to like an 8-pounder is now a 10-pounder.
Yes,
10-pounder is now like an 8.
Yes,
a 12 is now like a 10,
and a 13 is like a 12. Yeah, it's. Anything you get in teen range, it's still nuts. Like when we catch one, we all like shoot out a group text, got one in the box, and we all meet up and look at it. Just
how many teeners have you had in your boat?
Me personally, just 2, but for our guide, I think we have 10.
Good Lord. Yeah. Over what? Just
over 13.
How many, like how long is that? What time period?
3 years.
That's insane.
Yes.
Didn't you have a 14 this year?
Yeah, we had a 1410 on the lake in West Texas, dude.
1410?
In September, and it was 103 degrees.
What does that look like in person?
It was stupid. But there are those Ivy, Texas Park and Wildlife stalked all these lakes, and they're just short, fat, beautiful fish. And I say short, this thing was like 28.5 inches. It was huge.
Yeah, that's a big fish.
Huge, dude. But the mouse on them aren't like those big Florida strain mouse. They're kind of smaller. So when I lipped it, I was like, we got a 10 plus for sure. And then I picked it up and I was like, ooh, we got something special here, and weighed it. And Burks actually saw us weigh it. Actually, this is a funny story. We were about to leave. And Burks and his dad.
You had 2 guide clients.
Yeah, 2 guide clients. We're about to leave. It was like 5 o'clock. I'm like, let's cut it. Well, Burks and his dad catch 2 in front of us. I was like, let's stay. We make one more pass and catch that 1410.
You'll probably never catch one bigger than that, will you? Have you ever seen one bigger than that?
It's hard to tell, dude. Like, you look them in the water, especially like sight fishing. They're big, but you don't know. Like, I've caught 10s that I'm like, it's like a 12 and it's a 10. Then I've caught 12s that look like 10s. So it's just so hard to tell until they're on the scale or in the boat.
You just weigh them on like the high-end handhelds?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have a certified scale we weigh them on. We've been using that Bubba scale. I think I was using tournaments, so I've been using that.
What percentage of guys do you think get a replica after they catch their 10?
Every single one. Every single one of them. That's what they're there for.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool about it. It's like I've been on trips where we do catch a 10-pounder, but we're not sight fishing for it. We're not hunting it. And it is awesome. It is great. You're like, 10, freaking out. Yeah. But when you put hours and days of working for that one fish and you get it, it's like times 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a 10, but we worked so hard for it and saw it, and just, it's really cool. It's awesome, man.
So like on a place like Ivy, like how many 10-pounders are in there?
No telling. Like I said, dude.
Do you think are the same 10? Are you catching one on the bed and then releasing it, and then
a month later, someone's catching it live scoping out in the middle.
I'm sure that happens, but dude, there's so many of them in there.
Really?
Like, dude, I've seen schools just swimming around that are, dude, 30 fish plus, and they come out and eat, and you catch one, it's like 11 and a half, and all those fish were the same size.
So obviously those are all year class fish.
Yeah, definitely.
Are there like other year classes coming up behind them out there, or is this like a finite time period?
There's a bunch of 5s out there, and they're just smart, and they're all just getting,
because it seems like some of the lakes have like something happened. It was right for a couple years, the stocking was right, but then there's like the year classes behind them aren't.
Yeah,
does that make sense? So now you have a window, right? I mean,
some lakes
got to be a window.
Yeah, some lakes out there, like, you don't catch a small one, so you're like, is there anything coming?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So like once those are gone.
Who knows?
It's kind of like Thunderbird, like right out here. They stocked a bunch of Floridas in it, in like when I started going to school here. So like 05, 06, it was like super, super low for a couple of years. I could like walk the bank. That's how I bass fished when I was here before I had a boat. Yeah. Then it flooded for a couple of years. And then like all those Floridas, I think they're F1s, got big, but there weren't like still very many of them. So you'd catch like 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s. And then like, you'd notice, man, there's not that many of those 8s or 9s left.
6s
and then
stuff,
but it was like that whole like group, that 2 or 3 year class, like cycled out. Now there's not as many big ones.
I think that probably has something to do with it. But I also think Texas Park Wildlife, their stocking deal will help that, because that's why all those lakes are so good, because Texas Park Wildlife stock.
You think they found the magic?
I think so, dude.
The magic strain or whatever.
Yeah, that, and I think they probably. I'm guessing. I'm not for sure on this. This is just a guess. I think they did their research on what bait fish are in the lake. Like this lake has a ton of bait fish. Let's stock the piss out of it. See what happens. That's what I think happened.
In your opinion, you've done this on all this. Are you looking for crappie, gizzard, shad, shiner? What are you looking for?
Just, like one lake, I think it's different for each lake. One lake, the lake you went to with Birch, I think it's a total crappie thing.
Okay. What's Ivy?
I think big gizzard shad. Really? I think for a little bit, I think carp were a big deal.
No, like out in Clear Lake, those big ones eat carp.
Yeah, I think carps. I remember one year we're doing, bed fishing, and every single one of them had a carp tail.
Really?
And now that's kind of gone, because maybe they wiped them out or something. But that I haven't seen a carp tail in a throat in a while. But that's what I think happened in a year. I don't think it was like the solid like reason why they got big, but it was happening. Just noticing it in their throats. But
all right, we need to take a break. When we come back, is this headed towards a state record? That's what what is it, 18-18?
Yeah,
Don't answer that question now. We're going to take a break. It's BTL on a Tuesday. Rick Harris, Toyota Series Angler, MLF Invitational Angler. We'll talk about that also too when you come back. And Guide for Hill Country Hammers, BTL on a Tuesday. We'll be back right after this.
The new Puma STS has been redesigned from the ground up. With the angler, design, function, and performance in mind, nothing on this new offering was compromised, and the only thing carried over from the previous version is the name. Based on the Soft Touch series hull that started with the flagship Jaguar, this new model is nimble and performs incredibly well at all speeds with either a 250 or 300 horsepower engine. Featuring a new 96-inch wide-body footprint, this hull measures out at 20 foot 7 inches in length. Industry-leading design coupled with tournament-winning performance. The Puma STS from Basscat. Feel the rush.
Everything you need, one legendary brand. Top one on Strike King.
All right, guys, if you're a construction worker, soccer dad, soccer mom, you want to be outdoors, you've seen the Reaper. This right here is the zip-up full Reaper, but it's windproof, folks, windproof. And it actually has the mast built in. It's behind me. If you can look good, feel good, and stay warm, you better check it out. It's the zip-up Reaper. That's right, windproof.
Elite Series Pro Daryl Gleason here. My Pro Guide batteries keep me going on those long tournament days and long practice days. Always plenty of juice, never fail. The best part about Pro Guide batteries, it's the people behind the company. They have over 40 years experience in the battery business, keeping all of us fishermen out on the water longer, catching more fish. Check them out at ProGuideBatteries.com.
What's up, Bass Talk Live fans? Brandon Polnick here. And ever since I won a couple Bassmaster Elite Series events on X-Zone Lures, I've been getting a bunch of questions of what makes them so special and different. And really, the truth is, it's in the details. The little details, things like no cheap fillers in their plastic. That gives you more lifelike action, more realistic and vibrant colors. But don't just take my word for it. Go to www.xzonelures.com and check them out for yourself.
Have you considered purchasing new electronics for your rig? The type of mounts you choose to protect your investment should be part of the decision-making process. No matter if you prefer 1, 2, or 3 graphs up front, Beatdown Outdoors has a solution for you. Adjustable, versatile, rigid, and made in the USA. What's your ultimate electronics setup? Check out the full selection of Beatdown Outdoors products by visiting beatdownoutdoors.com.
I'm the kind of guy that never leaves the house without a pocket knife, and Gamakatsu's come out with the EDC series of knives. EDC stands for Everyday Carry, so whether you're on the water or off, you can always have it with you. The best thing about it to me is that assisted open feature. With this D2 blade, you've got it right here at your fingertips, so if you can't find your scissors, you need to cut a knot, you need to cut your braid, you've always got it. Make sure you check it out. Never leave home without your Gamakatsu EDC knife.
Born in Japan, using technology, innovation, and precision, Sunline produces the widest selection of fishing lines at the most technologically advanced line factory in the world. Manufactured at the strictest tolerances to produce victories at the highest levels of tournament bass fishing. From household names like Christie, Swindle, and Cruz, to young guns like Cook, Logan, New, and Welcher, they all trust Sunline to take them to the top of the leaderboard. Choose the line that will give you the strength to guarantee your confidence. Sunline.
All right, we're back talking with Rick Harris, talking big bass, specifically big Texas bass. Before the break, you're talking about some of the tanks that you guys have seen. Is this top out, or are we going to start approaching world state record stuff? 1818 is this? Yeah, is a state record. I could Fork, right?
Yeah, Fork. Yeah,
and it's like old. It's been around for a while.
Yeah, I could see it, dude. Just because like. Fish are so big. I mean, they're one bite of, the 16 pound. I think Kyle caught a 16. A couple of
Kyle
Hall. He caught a 16 a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
Con caught a 17. Like, dude, they're one bite away. They're one bite away. They eat a crappie. Boom, they're 18 something.
Yeah, that 17 probably wasn't 18 at some point in its life.
Yeah, so that's what I kind of think. I think they're there. Just catch them as a deal, and I don't.
Well, I'm saying, are we trending up towards it, or is this like just good, and every once in a while we'll see a freak? Because it seems to me, from the outside looking in, like I said, 10s are the new 8s. Like everything just seems to get bigger and bigger. You're catching 10s basically every other day.
Yeah,
that you're on the water. You put your hands on a 15. This year.
And honestly, so like we usually spend a lot of time there during the spawn. I'm not there like, Brett Cannon is there a lot. Dalton lives there now. Like they are on the water all the time. They would probably know more about that, to be honest, but I could see it, man. Like one fish is at all those are going to be a freak and eat a 3-pound crappie and be 19 pounds swimming around and maybe get. What
about world record? I mean, you talk about 19, you're 3 pounds away from world record. Then what if you get one that is 19 that eats a 3-pound?
Yeah, exactly. But so maybe
yes or no, you have,
man. I don't know. I really don't.
It's not out of the realm
not out
of
the question, but like, is it for sure? I don't know.
Like, listen, I know wherever I fish.
Yeah. State record for sure.
That I am not around a world record bat. Like it just does not exist.
Yeah.
Physically, biologically does not exist.
State record, 100% at some time in the lake, there's a state record swimming around.
You think you've ever fished for one?
Not on a bed, no.
You think you've ever had your bait around one?
Maybe one follow it, maybe. Because I've seen some big ones follow it that I'm just like, I don't know, that's big. So I truly, maybe I've had one follow it.
Have you heard stories of guys who were
dude, like those guys had giant.
Like we jumped off at 20.
I haven't heard stories of I mean, the crowd that I roll with, no one really like has fish stories. Does that make sense? Everyone's pretty like honest about it.
Yeah, but I'm still, if you lose a 15 to 20 pounder, you're going to tell people that.
Yeah. And man, I don't say anything until they're on the scale.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've been fooled when they jump, when I grab, so like until they're on the scale, I can't really determine. I can see a fish and see how, like, have a good guess, but like I really don't know if there's a world record. State record, yes, there's a state record.
And how many lakes do you think in Texas right now there's a 18.18 swimming in?
The ones that I know in West Texas, probably 2 of them.
That's wild, isn't it?
For sure. Yeah. And then I'm sure,
there's a bunch of lakes down there that have giants in it.
Yeah. So, I mean,
it was funny when I mentioned that I was going down there.
Mhm.
I had DMs and guesses, and it was like 6 different lakes.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone was sure, like, hey, this is the lake that he's taken to. And there's
some good stuff down there, dude. Like, because I lived in San Angelo for a long time, and I would just travel like 200 miles and fish a lake. I think Allen Henry's a little sleeper, dude. Up by,
you gonna get in trouble?
No, dude. Like, we guide there, it's fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, we guide there. We're actually doing another Chase the Bite up there this year for giants. So we'll hopefully get one. You know what I mean? And I think there's maybe a state record in there. I don't think the population's there like Ivy or other lakes, but they're in there.
If anyone's interested in doing this, you guys are all out of ballistics.
Mhm.
You got that's a ballistic in the driveway right now.
Yeah. So that's one of our ballistics. We're actually, Hill Country Hammer is a dealer for ballistics.
Okay.
So if anybody wants a ballistic, hit us up, man. We'll get you, come for a demo ride, do a trip, get a demo ride out of it. We can fully order you a custom boat how you want it.
I crawled around in a ballistic earlier this year, and I was really impressed.
Dude, this is the first tournament I fished out of it, and I'm very impressed. Dude, I was boat 195 day 2, and being all the way, dude, it wasn't bad. Like 22-foot boat blasting over stuff, like it was pretty badass, not gonna lie.
Like price wise, like, okay, so I'm used to $400 to $500 a day guiding. Now it seems, honestly, like the average now is, just for a standard trip, is between $600 and $750.
Yeah.
You hear outlandish numbers getting tossed around. Like Ben Milliken just went in and he doesn't even guide that. That might be why, but he just went for $15,000 for a day down in Texas for the Bass Fishing Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, what? Couple grand can get you on the water.
Yeah, we're getting, I think for normal trip we're doing like at home $850 because we're home. But if we put travel involved, we're $1,000.
Okay.
And then these Chase the Bite trips that we do, these big giant hunts we do $1,500.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much standard with everybody. Like it's a new standard. It's dude, throughout a few years everything's more expensive.
It is. Well, I mean, aren't guys paying like 20 grand to go kill a deer?
Yeah, exactly. Too. Yeah, so it's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean?
Like go on a bear hunt and have the guy there.
Exactly.
Like that. You can't look at having done this, like I said, with Brandon and having jumped in the boat and doing it a little bit myself. You cannot look at this as a fishing trip.
No, it is a
hunting trip.
It is a hunt, exactly. And we run nice boats, nice equipment. Yeah. It's a business, but I truly think you get your money's worth, dude.
Yeah.
You learn stuff. It's a good deal.
And there's a lot of downtime too. Like it's just like, and I mean, I haven't like hunted big game, but I would imagine that there's like a lot of moments of like, crap, I can't believe we decided to come all the way out to Alaska and we're not going to see a single freaking moose.
Yeah. And then boom, last 5 minutes, you're like, there's a 2-pounder.
And this is a horrible freaking hunting spot. Yep. We haven't seen a moose all day. What the hell are we doing? Yep. I'm going to take a nap, blah, blah, blah. And then just massive adrenaline spike.
Yep.
Here it is 20 yards in front of you and everything is worth it.
And I think that's why when you do catch the fish, it's a crazier experience. Mm-hmm. Like we freak out. It's awesome. Like it is. I'm freaking. They're free. It's just fun, man. It's cool.
Is anybody? Is it? Yeah. This is all like live scope stuff, not sight fishing, right?
No. So most of the stuff that we do is all sight fishing.
Okay.
We dabble in the live scope, and honestly, this is my personal opinion on live scoping trips.
It's a tough trip, isn't it?
Yeah, because like if you want to come learn live scope, and come on, dude, I don't care. Like, let's do it. But like engaging with the client, it's hard because you're focused on the screen, you're looking at it, and if you get distracted, you're not fully invested.
The guy has to know where to cast. He has to know how far to cast.
Yeah,
he has to be able to understand what he's looking at while you stay on the fish.
Exactly.
There's a lot more.
There's a lot more. Yeah,
and then you get some guys who want to go and get entertained.
Yeah, exactly. So it's. We do the live scope trips, especially in the winter months and stuff.
So you're hot, you're prime.
March to May.
April.
And even sometimes into early June, they still spawn in Texas because it's so big. early June you can get some spawning too.
So that's
what we do all.
So is
all
that going to be
months.
different this year with you jumping into the MLF Invitationals?
Not really, because I had Toyotas around the same time too. I'd just take time off and go. And then like we went to the Classic this year during prime time for a few days and had the boat there, met everyone, did that, which is really cool. So
next year, I believe, Sam Rayburn, West Point, Kentucky, Lake Eufaula in Alabama, Lake Champlain, and the Detroit River.
Yeah, solid schedule.
Yeah,
Straight up.
Big
Great
jump
schedule.
for you, or is it just the same thing except you're just paying a little bit more on the entry fee and it's a little different field makeup?
I feel that it's just big on the entry fee. I feel like, 3 of those lakes I've been to and have had success.
Champlain.
Yeah, and then St. Clair and Rayburn. So, comfortable with those, happy about it. And then the new ones sound fun too. Like Eufaula, Alabama is a fish factory, and then Kentucky Lake that time of year should
It's
be
coming
fun.
back.
Yeah, and should be fun. April, you know what I mean? Bush, like
May 10th.
Yeah, should be fun.
Kentucky Lake is April 19th through 21st.
And then
they might be on the beds.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be cool. And then
that could be awesome.
March West Point, dude, they got spotted bass, so scope. You can do. It's a really cool schedule. I'm excited for it and excited to make that jump, man. It's it's what I've worked for and qualified for it. And
what's the goal? Is it the BPT? Is it just to fish at the highest level? What are we doing it for?
Goal is to just get experience at that high level. Because it is a higher level than the Toyotas. There's everyone's good, more money. The goal is not BPT. It's not my jam. Maybe if I'm on a good roll and I'm catching them,
you'll make it now, like first year probably, because you won't be like stressed out.
Well, like if I'm on a good roll, dude, honestly, I would like to jump in the opens and give that a shot and try to make the Elite Series because that's everyone's dream. You know what I mean? So that's my personal goal is to do that and just get experience and some feathers in the hat in the invitationals.
Yeah, February 9th through 11th, it kicks off stop 1 at Sam Rayburn. Any hesitation to jump into that, especially with the changes that they announced on that over the last couple of years, and then the
little bit
kind of the volatility that we've seen with MLF over the past couple months?
But everyone's story and everyone's path is different.
Right.
This was my path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your path, you dove into the opens and that's your path, which I want to do that one day. But this opportunity kind of came and I'm going to take it. It's going to be fun.
Only thing that I don't like is there's so many guys that still fish that invitationals that were top level professional anglers for 15 years.
Yeah.
Like they're the top of the barrel, right? It was FLW Tour and the Bassmaster Elite Series. And now there's like still a step above that.
Yeah.
But it's still,
it's the high, dude.
There's made guys up of 90% of guys who do this for a living.
Yeah. That catch them. Like it's very, but it's, you got to go into it with confidence. And this year I feel confident that I can go in and compete and, hopefully shake some heads. We'll see.
Who are you rolling with?
One of my best friends, man, Alec Morrison.
Have I met him?
Maybe. But we talked about this at the Toyota Series Championship. His year this year was unbelievable.
How do you spell it? A-L-E?
ALEC Morrison. His year was
from New York?
Yeah, from Plattsburgh.
Didn't he win one?
Dude, he won the Toyota at Rayburn by the biggest margin ever. He didn't have to catch a fish the last day. And it's the first time he's ever been there.
Oh, wow. He had a freaking year.
Dude. Like, even BFL's local stuff, the only event, like, he didn't top 10 was, like...
All right, we'll pull this up here.
Potomac. And I think this one, which he got 11th.
So, Cayuga, Champlain, he went 6th, 1st, and 2nd.
Those are BFLs.
There's a win at the BFLs.
Yeah.
The Toyota Series Southwestern. So, I mean, I'm assuming he fished that because you're down there.
Yeah, he asked me about it, and he's like, I was like, dude,
is that the dude who like drop shotted him?
Yeah,
off the piles and just murdered everyone.
Yeah,
that's your buddy.
Yeah,
all right, so he fished one Toyota in the Southwest,
Mm-hmm.
won that one. He went 27, 29, 16, 73 pounds. Then the Toyota Series in the Northern Division, he won the Angler of the Year. In that division, he went 63rd on the Potomac, 7th and 6th at the St. Lawrence and Lake Champlain.
Yeah, it's
And
nutty,
then
dude.
In the Toyota Series Championship last week, 3 days ago, he finished 11th. Dude, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm flying under the radar, but that is a freaking strong.
It's insane.
Year. And this is only his third.
Yeah, he's like 24, 25. Like, he's young.
He fishes a co-angler in the northern divisions up until 21, and then has fished the BFLs since 18 out of the boat.
Yeah, he's worked his butt off for it, too. It's not like he just.
How'd you meet him?
Man, just the Featherwick deal we got going on.
Yeah,
that. So Bud Cipoletti used to take him fishing up there and stuff, and I met him through Bud when he was like in high school. He's like 17, 18, and just watching him grow up and being buddies. And
Featherwick's like a secret society,
yeah,
right?
kinda, yeah. It's just
that's the thing with the triangle with the eye, and it's just like all the weird like.
Yeah, he does awesome, cool,
abstract videos,
trippy filming stuff. Yeah, dude, it's awesome.
How many guys are in that?
Man, there's like a group, maybe like it's kind of like 10 or 12, and then
okay, because I see the random logos sometimes on the boats.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, that's one of those guys.
Yeah,
but I don't think anyone really knows what the hell it is.
Yeah, we don't even know what it is. It's just us. Like it's people ask all the time. We're like, man, we don't know. It's just Bud started it, and it's kind of gone from there. But man, it's like everyone in it's like one of my best friends. Like Bud, he's in Florida, but I think moved up New Hampshire. My buddy Garrett Rockamore, he's in Florida. Nick Hatfield, he's in Tennessee. Alex up in New York. Akira, this Japanese angler that moved here that works in New York. He fishes as a co-angler, and he's part of Featherwick for years. And it's really cool, dude. It's a tight knit group for sure. It's awesome.
You pick up any sponsors going into next year?
Yeah. I've had Sims for a while, and they're going to help out, which is awesome. And they sponsored the Toyota Series Championship, which was really cool because, like, dude, Patterson's grew up in Springfield, and his dad bought a houseboat on Table Rock like a couple months ago. Happened to be at the marina we were launching out of on the in dock. So I would go through boat check, roll up, park the boat, tie up, and like text them like, "You guys up?" And they're like, "Yeah, come on in." And I walk in there, and they're like, "Oh, here's breakfast." Dude, it was an absolute tits. It was so awesome, dude. And to eat breakfast, hang out, and like, "Oh, it's time to go later." High five, gone. And it was freezing in the morning.
I got you. So run the Hill Country wrap, that wrap you got out there.
Yeah, Hill Country wrap, and then Lou Strike King. That's been awesome.
You're a couple years on that, right?
Yeah, a couple years, and kind of stepped it up for next year. They helped me out, and then Power Pole. They rigged out my whole boat. Trolling motor charge poles. That helps. You know what I mean?
You're on the new trolling motor.
Yeah, it's gonna be all. It's a bad beast, dude. It's good.
It's just like a pole in the front too.
Little head, and people are always like, "Oh man, I couldn't get used to live scope doing it." Dude, where the cord goes in, boom, you can. It's easy. It's not bad, especially you can feel your foot, not even look. And
yeah, I think it's crazy. So like in fishing, everyone looks the same, right?
Yeah,
like I feel like I don't want to say everyone looks like me. Maybe I look like everyone else.
Yeah,
just white guy shorts, long sleeve shirt. Clean cut. Yeah. Like I remember the first time meeting you, I was like, this dude freaking parties his balls off. Just because of the tats and all that stuff. Yeah. But then like when you get to know you, you're 100% straight edge.
Yeah.
You cool talking about that?
Dude, totally. Yeah. Like,
because I think you walk around the classic and it's like you and Aaron Britt. That's like it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. Like tattoos and stuff, and
but you're straight edge.
Yeah, so I grew up in like the punk rock scene, hardcore scene, like music. I was in a band for years, toured the country, and straight edge is like a deal. Like you don't drink, you don't do drugs, you don't do any of that, and it just kind of stuck. And I just never have. It's not my thing. But I go out and have fun. We go out.
No, I know you always go out, but as long as I've known you, I've never seen you. I mean, we've gone out, hung out for years and years. You never had a sip of alcohol. No, always like super mellow, but then you just have like all these badass tattoos.
Yeah, it's cool. A lot of people tell me, they're like, "Man, you were kind of scary when I met you." And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like petting a puppy dog or playing with a kitty cat, and they're like, "That guy's what?"
Yeah, you have a lot of guy clients that are like will eventually like bring it around to that too.
Oh
like,
yeah, definitely.
So what's up? Because I mean, you got like a wild cat on your knee.
Yeah, I got
all sorts of crazy.
Got a
stuff.
little bass tattoo I love. So I grew up in the punk rock scene. My buddy did tattoos, so he'd blast me like every weekend when I was like 19. And
are you all
chest, legs, everything, dude. It's crazy. I haven't got tattooed in like 10 years.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. I went one time and it just sucked. I mean, it always sucks, but it sucked.
So you ran out of
bad.
space.
Yeah, I still got my back and my tummy and stuff, but like, you know, I could go do my back one day, but probably not going to happen. Stuff hurts over it.
I've always said if I ever win a championship, I'm getting a jumping bass, like anatomically, like on my back, right where my heart is.
Nice.
But that's it. Apparently there's all sorts of like like if you get your first tattoo, I just learned this because I was looking at a big neck piece.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
you're not supposed to go hands or neck first. That's like frowned upon in tattoo culture.
Yeah, old school dudes are like that. But there's a lot of young kids, dude, they're just like what are you doing?
YouTube SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But even like normal kids will get like stuff on their fingers and hands, and I'm like, ugh.
No.
But yeah, and all at camp, because they're like, I want tattoos. I'm like, no. Wait till you're 25 and call me, and I'll make you look cool.
I think Wilson's the only one who might actually follow through on that.
Yeah, exactly.
He'd come home with like a neck piece.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he'd do that. But, yeah.
Anything else, dude? Like I said, I got to get going. I know you have to get back to you got to get back down to Texas. So
yeah, that was great, dude. Thanks for having me. I was stoked to stop in and do this. This helps out. And like I said, hit us up, Hill Country Hammer Guide Service. You want to?
Let me pull this up one more time.
Yeah, if you want to come get a trip
up over here.
We're pretty much booked April and May, but we got some trips in March on LBJ, around Austin area.
Can people specifically ask for you, or do you book with Hill Country and then just?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to fish with me, ask for me. Like we have secretary callers say you want to fish with me, and she'll set it up. But honestly, it's hard to take out new clients because I have so many repeats. I really take out.
That's good.
I really take out new people.
Effect where you end up just taking your buddies out every year on Falcon.
Yeah, so I really take out new people. But yeah, just call and we'll get you set. If you want to fish with me, I own the company too, so I can make stuff happen if you really want.
Oh, you also do exotic hunts and stuff?
Yeah, I'm not hunting. They're hunting right now at the ranch. We do, good typical whitetail. They're like 200-inch deer, 180 to 200 deer, and they're just good, clean typicals. A lot of axis hunts, black buck, stuff like that.
There you go. HillCountryHammer.com.
Mm-hmm.
How'd they come up with that name?
My buddy Jared made it. He just because everything where we live is like hill country. There's the Hill Country Inn, Hill Country this. So he's like,
okay,
Hill Country Hammer.
So I got you.
Did that and it kind of took off. It's cool.
All right, let me see if I can get some music queued up here. I'm not used to doing the music since they're in studio. All right, dude, drive safe. Thanks for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. All right, this has been another edition of BTL Fast Talk Live. No show tomorrow, so Wednesday. November, holy cow, we're already third way through November.
Nice.
November 7th, no show Thursday, back with an all-new Uncle Frank. Rick Harris, follow him on tour next year on the Invitationals. And on his social media, he's always posting just absolute freaks. So
have fun at Table Rock, dude.
Thanks, man. I hope I'm shooting for 14 a day.
Yeah, go get it.
All right, this has been another edition of BTL Bass Talk Live. We will talk to everybody on Thursday. Later.